I am Michaela Bowen, and I will be discussing the history and multiple possibilities of fixing mass incarceration in the United States. The United States holds a bit of a false impression when we think of our country as a land of freedom. To understand, let us talk of the incarcerated, people that are still citizens as much as we are. As of May 2020, the U.S. is the leading country when it comes to incarceration rates, holding 655 prisoners per 100,000 residents. We have no trouble jailing people, but it is time to put effort into lowering this statistic. It is clear to see that we are far ahead of other countries when we compare the second leading Turkey, who holds only 344 prisoners per 100,000 residents. As someone who has family members incarcerated and working in the law force, I've had a first-hand experience from both sides and when it comes to the turmoil of the jail system. So today, I would like to discuss with you all the multiple possibilities to controlling our country's mass incarceration problem. This includes reviewing the rise of mass incarceration, promoting financial investment for rehabilitating services, and work on preventions from being incarcerated. To fully grasp such a gap between the U.S. and its fellow nations, it is crucial to remember the presidencies of Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan, whose term started a long period of high incarceration rates. This purely comes from Nixon's first call of a war on drugs in June 1971, where he dramatically increased the size of federal drug control agencies and pushed for measures of mandatory sentencing and no-knock warrants. Nixon even rejected his party's recommendation of decriminalizing the possession and distribution of marijuana for personal use, resulting in the rise of minor drug offenses given harsh crime punishments. Reagan's spread of the war on drugs saw a zero-tolerance policy implemented. Soon the number of people locked away from the nonviolent drug offenses rose from 50,000 in 1980 to a shocking 400,000 in 1997. These very acts can be linked to the overpopulation that is affecting our prisons and local jails today. The first thing to happen is to put more financial investments towards services on rehabilitating inmates and to help keep them from returning to jail. For example, better job training facilities, possibly even connected directly with jails, would help young and unemployed inmates go to work after being released. Another important step would to improve the mental health and substance abuse of inmates. Again, we need the proper facilities to come hand in hand with the jails and work to improve an inmate's health physically and mentally. Once you have a person with a clear and healthy mind, free of addictive substances, they will be more focused on living as a working citizen with jobs, hobbies, a family, and a life contributing to society. When someone has so much going for them, they will work to keep what they have and not be reincarcerated. But when all we ever do is imprison them for some time and release them with no aftercare or guidance, they'll be imprisoned again not long after being released, and very much likely for the same charge. The jails will continue to overcrowd if we don't invest in prevention. There are a lot of people being born into families who don't set a law-abiding example. And what can we expect from people who have only seen gangbanging in their neighborhoods? You can't know what you are not taught. There needs to be life choices and consequences classes being taught from elementary all up into high school. Classes that address suicide, self-harm, and violence against others needs to be addressed. And have ex-gang members talk to junior high kids about what really happens in gangs and what really happens in prisons. Finally, high school should allow seniors to earn their barbers and beautician licenses, HVAC licenses, welding licenses, whatever, so they can graduate and go straight into their field of work. Prevention, going hand in hand with rehabilitation, is the main key to keep jails from overcrowding. We just discussed some major possibilities that can help control and lower the United States mass incarceration problem. Those being understanding the background of why mass incarceration started, and investing in proper rehabilitating services, and focusing on the prevention of incarceration for younger citizens. Of course, these are ideas that will take time being developed and acted upon. It takes all our voices to see a change in our government's handling of the jail system, but sometimes it takes one voice speaking up to get the ball rolling for the rest. Thank you.